So GTA 6 might have made $1 billion in 1 hour. And might is doing a lot of work in that sentence, because here's the strange bit about the biggest launch in entertainment history. There are no official numbers. Rockstar hasn't published one. Take-Two hasn't published one. Not a single figure from anyone whose job it actually is to know. And so what we've got instead is a professor squinting at a stock chart, a rumor mill that adds another billion every week or so, and the share price that somehow went down in the middle of all this. The game sold too well and the stock dropped. That genuinely happened, and we'll get to it. So today we're doing the money properly, receipts out, and I'll tell you which numbers are real and which ones are just vibes. Right, follow the money. Quick ground rule first, because this whole video is numbers. It's the same hedge ladder as always, just with cash on it. An official filing, that's confirmed, and you can take it to the bank. An analyst estimate is a clever guess with a spreadsheet attached, which is worth something, but it's still a guess. And then below that you've got reports suggest, and then somewhere near the floor you've got thumbnail maths, which is basically entertainment. So when I show you a number today, I'll tell you where on the ladder it lives. That's the deal on this channel. You know how this works. So, the headline number. Pre-orders opened on June 25th, and within about an hour, GTA 6 had reportedly taken $1 billion. $1 billion? $1 billion in an hour. Now, the source for that is not Rockstar. It's a professor at the University of Virginia called Anthony Palomba, who worked it out by watching what Take-Two's stock was doing, which puts it firmly on the clever guess shelf. But even as a guess, look at what it's up against. GTA 5 held the old record, and that was $1 billion in 3 days back in 2013, and at the time that number made grown journalists lose their minds. GTA 6 allegedly did the same thing before your kettle finished boiling, and to be fair, even the cautious versions of this estimate are still silly numbers. Whatever the real figure turns out to be on Friday, the shape of the thing is obvious. It's selling like nothing has ever sold, which is mad. And $1 billion an hour just slides past the year, so quick interlude for scale. $1 billion is roughly what Red Dead Redemption 2 cost across its entire 8 years of development, earned back, allegedly, in the time it takes to watch one episode of a cooking show. It's about 3 times what the biggest opening weekend in the history of cinema managed in 3 whole days. And if you stacked it up in 20s, you'd have a tower taller than anything on the Vice City skyline probably. I haven't done the maths on that one, but the maddest part is that this is the conservative number in the story. This is the one with a professor attached to it. Hold that thought, because they only get sillier from here. Now watch what the internet did with it. The billion in an hour estimate came out, and within about a day, reports suggest it was actually 3 billion in 24 hours. Who reports? Reports. Nobody ever says. And then you give it a week, and there's a post doing big numbers claiming analysts see 5 billion by the end of launch week, and at that point, every retelling has just added another billion, like a game of telephone where the phone is made of money. Say it with me, educated, guess. And look, some of these could genuinely turn out to be true. That's the beauty of inventing numbers about a company that publishes none, because nobody can ever fire you for it. The 3 billion figure, as far as I can trace it, comes from a stock chart, which got interpreted by an analyst, which got summarized by a blog, which got rounded up by a thumbnail. So file it. File all of it, honestly. So here's what we actually have, and credit where it's due, because some outlets are honest about this. Even the site running the crushing every record headline admits in its own subheading that Rockstar hasn't published official numbers, and that everything points that way from stock moves and store rankings and Take-Two's own guidance. And that's fair reporting that. The hard little facts underneath it are real though. A French retailer reported 6 times more pre-orders in one day than a Call of Duty gets in a full campaign. Special editions sold through in hours, and Take-Two's own financial guidance for the year only really works if GTA 6 is absolutely enormous. Now, none of that is a dollar figure, but all of it points the same direction, you know what I mean? And remember the price fight that kicked all this off? We did a whole video on the $80 standard edition when it was announced, and half the comments swore that price would kill pre-orders stone dead. Lovely theory that. And then the evidence turned up. And the actual receipts land on Friday, which we'll get to in a minute. But first, the funniest thing that's happened in financial markets this year. Pre-orders opened, records visibly fell, and Take-Two's share price dropped. And that's not me being cute, that's Yahoo Finance's actual headline. GTA 6 pre-orders send Take-Two stock down as price, and launch details disappoint. Disappoint. And the reason is genuinely that the game costs $80, and investors had somehow talked themselves into 90 or 100. The write-up says it plainly. The figure disappointed bulls, who'd speculated the title could command between $90 and $100. So basically, the market is upset that the game is too cheap. Which is a crazy sentence to say out loud, but that's genuinely what happened. And I checked the ticker while making this. Down another 3% today, as it happens. And the community response to all this corporate weeping was, I think, perfect. Top of the subreddit, 1,400 upvotes. Leave me out of your corporate fight. I just want to play GTA 6. No notes. Genuinely the healthiest thing that subreddit has ever produced. Now there's a smarter version of this whole conversation, and for once it's also on Reddit. A marketing bloke posted that everyone here is judging a 2026 launch with a 2013 playbook. And honestly, he's right. GTA 5 ran a marketing campaign for the best part of 2 years. Magazine covers, TV adverts, the long slow drip, all of it. GTA 6 has been nearly silent, and its entire campaign is going to fit inside about 5 months because Take-Two has said, out loud, that the marketing will be short and intense. And when you already own everyone's attention, saying nothing kind of is the advert, right? And the machine is warming up as we speak, by the way. This week, fans caught the GTA 6 website updating 3 times in 4 hours. Backend changes, new fonts, no actual content. A website quietly getting dressed. Somebody at Rockstar is preloading Art Deco fonts the way you lot preload excuses for August. The alligator, through all of this, remains unpaid. Union issue, apparently. Anyway, which brings us to Friday, August 7th, at 8 in the morning Eastern, the earnings call. Same calendar entry we flagged in the evidence video, still sitting right there on Take-Two's own investor page, and it covers the first quarter with actual pre-order money in it. So it's the first time a real number can exist in public. And my honest call, on the record like always. I don't think we get one, even then. Take-Two historically talks in superlatives rather than units, so expect record-breaking demand, expect unprecedented engagement, and don't expect a dollar figure with a decimal point on it. 70-30, that's my line. And if they do print a number, I'll happily eat that. And if the number starts with a 3, then the report suggest crowd gets to lap me for a week. Now, if you actually tune in on Friday, a bit of translation for earnings call English, because they do talk funny. Net bookings just means money, and engagement means people exist somewhere near the product. And if Strauss-Zelnick says the word momentum more than 4 times, that's basically a victory lap. Count them and report back. Grade me Friday, it goes next to the 60-40 on the trailer, which at time of recording is still live. Busy week for accountability on this channel. So zoom out for a second, because the real story here isn't any one number. The biggest entertainment product ever made is being measured entirely from the outside. A professor watching a stock chart, a retailer in France counting boxes, a share price sulking about a discount. Everything points at something enormous. And the thing itself refuses to be weighed until Friday. And honestly, the silence is kind of the point. Think about how backwards this is. Marvel films buy Super Bowl slots, pop stars do 72 interviews a week, and the biggest launch in the history of the medium is being marketed by a company that says nothing twice a year to a community that does all the shouting for free. Some of the shouting is even accurate. There's probably a business school paper in that, and there's definitely a video in it because you're watching it. I'm a bloke in the spare room reading a stock chart with my tea going cold. That's the whole industry, mate. But on Friday morning, for about an hour, there'll be adults in the room with actual receipts. And whatever they say, you'll get the honest version of it here the same day. So that's where the money actually stands, as best as anyone outside the building can tell. $1 billion an hour from the professor, probably. $3 billion from nobody in particular, allegedly. $5 billion in somebody's thumbnail. And 0 officially until Friday morning. And I genuinely can't remember a story where the gap between what everyone knows and what anyone can prove has been this wide for this long. If they print a number, you heard it here. And if they don't, well, you also heard it here, and I win a quiet little bet with myself. The corners video is on screen if you'd rather hear what the game says than what the spreadsheets say, and there's one more next to it. No idea which one. It's good though. Mind how you go, you lot.